Teenagers can watch 3 reels without a blink. Yet, reading a chapter feels like the longest journey known to humanity. It might sound like a joke, but it is also a warning. Reading is more than turning pages. Every book opens a chance to learn, to question, and to grow. But as fewer young people choose reading, those chances begin to fade. In a world moving faster every day and filled with endless information, the ability to think deeply and understand clearly becomes more important than ever. According to researchers, only 14% of 13 years old said they read for fun every day, down from 27% in 2012. We live in a world overflowing with information. Yet, our ability to read and critically evaluate that information is steadily declining. Then, why is literacy important? Through early exposure to reading, children not only learn to read, but also to think critically and logically. They develop foundational cognitive skills to support problem solving, attention, and the ability to understand complex ideas. Reading stimulates our brains, enabling us to make connection between words and ideas, which contributes to our ability to think critically, solve problems, and make informed decisions. These developmental benefits translate into better performance in school and prepare children for the challenges they'll face throughout their educational journey. So, what is causing the decline in youth literacy? The answer is sitting in our pockets. Increased screen time and the growing reliance on artificial intelligence are changing the way young people interact with information. Many students spend hours consuming short videos and relying on AI tools to summarize works of literature. Researchers at Science Direct found that greater AI dependence was associated with lower level of critical thinking and cognitive fatigue. You may be wondering, what is cognitive fatigue? Think of it as your brain's version of low battery warning. Imagine your brain repeatedly switching attention between different pieces of information. This leaves less mental energy for deep reading and comprehension. With this, even reading a fantasy novel starts to feel less like entertainment and more like a marathon. Then, are schools doing a sufficient job at dealing with this issue? According to researchers at Boston University, there's a lot of room for improvement. Nearly half of the hundreds of educators surveyed across 39 states said their institution had no systematic procedures in place for developing literacy programs. That means schools could be missing opportunities for early intervention. Unfortunately, low literacy is a life problem with a delayed bill. Students who struggle to read today may struggle to complete college applications tomorrow, formulate aspirations, and face difficulty engaging with challenging tasks. Life does not come with a skip button or an AI-generated summary. From understanding employment contracts to evaluating news and voting, literacy is the skill behind countless everyday decisions. Imagine working tirelessly to land on your dream job, only to sign an unfair contract because your eyes skipped over the details. What seemed like an opportunity could quickly become a source of hardship. Therefore, the consequences extend far beyond the classroom. Of course, parents can enforce screen time limits on their children's devices to help curb technology addiction. But schools can also take proactive steps to encourage reading. I would like to propose 2 solutions. First, reading with kids. One way to help fix declining literacy rate is by creating a reading mentor and mentee program in school, where older students are paired with younger students. This can allow students to spend less time online and more time talking face to face. They can share reading goals, talk about the stories they read, and explain them in their own words. This makes reading feel less stressful and more enjoyable, almost like a conversation instead of homework. As they keep doing this, students may feel more motivated to read more books, and those discussions can help the stories stay longer in their minds. Second, schools should consistently host readathons that make reading engaging through friendly competition and fun rewards. Instead of making students read as their homework, schools can organize great white reading tournaments where students earn points by logging reading time. As classes work together toward a common goal, reading becomes a group marathon instead of a chore. To celebrate, their winning class could host book-themed festival, award ceremony, and a pizza party. By linking reading to excitement and celebration, Readathons help students build positive reading habits and lift the burden of treating it as an endless obligation with no end. The decline in literacy among youth is not just about reading less. It affects how we think, learn, and connect with others. As screens continue to take more of our attention, books are slowly being left behind. But this does not have to be our future. Through reading mentors and having fun events like readathons, students can build stronger reading habits while also creating real conversations and connections. Because in the end, reading is not just reading words on a page. The choice is ours. We can keep on scrolling or we can start turning pages again. Thank you.